Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today, another Marvel Legends review, of course, and it is the last figure we need to review in this Man-Thing Build-A-Figure wave to complete the set, and it is, of course, Bullseye. So he comes with an arm for Man-Thing, and he comes with lots of accessories, so without further ado, let's have a look. Bullseye, little logo on the front that I've not really seen before, little Bullseye at the top. On the side, a picture of Bullseye in his classic comic costume. On the back, we get a little write-up, as we always do, plus a list of all the figures. In this wave, we need to complete the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure. Today, we're reviewing Bullseye. Another picture of Bullseye. So yeah, as I said, lots of accessories with this guy. A much needed update, apparently, but let's find out for ourselves. Pow, and here he is out of the box, Bullseye. Now, first of all, let me apologise for doing this review on a white background. Probably not the best for a figure that has a lot of white on him. So I've turned my contrast down so hopefully you can see the figure clearly. But yeah, first impressions is I like it. A much needed upgrade in the modern Hasbro form for a Bullseye character. Apparently the articulation is a lot better, just minus the classic finger articulation. So if you can do without that, then apparently you can get this guy in a lot more poses. He's on the Spider-Man 2099 body. So again, I don't need to explain articulation. The range is really good. So yeah, happy to have him. A little bit disappointed with this blemish there, but I'll get into that in a minute. This is how he comes packed. Again, I'll talk about his accessories. Build-A-Figure arm for Man-Thing. Last piece I need to build Man-Thing. So I will be reviewing Man-Thing next. Subscribe to the channel, find the playlist, all of that good stuff. Man-Thing review is coming. In regards to accessories for him, he comes with an alternative head. Now, someone tell me in the comments, is that a tattoo? Is that a scar? Is that a brand? I don't know what it is. But it looks good. This head sculpt is very nice. We'll zoom in and have a look at that in a minute. It comes with two weapons, a gun and a knife. Both of these go on the figure, which I like when they do that. The most frustrating thing about having figures is when they have guns molded onto the figure themselves. It's terrible. So I much prefer it when there's actually holsters and places to put the weapons. So thank you for that, Hasbro, even though that gun is pretty terrible. And then he comes with two alternate hands. Now, I learnt the hard way, but I thought he had a spare hand for each, but he doesn't. These are both right hands, left hands, I don't know. It depends what way around you're watching this video, I suppose. But they all go on the same hand. So these, see this hand with the effects on. And let me talk about the effects real quick. Is that I quite like it. I can't remember what these knives are called. I think they're called size, or I don't know. Someone in the comments tell me. But yeah, it's a throwing effect. And I do applaud Hasbro when they do try these new effects. We've got the Iron Man blasters, the Captain America swooshing shield effect, and now we've got these sort of throwing effects. So I do applaud Hasbro when they do try and give us these effects pieces. So thank you very much. And again, if you're good at ACBA, I'm sure you can get this guy into some decent poses. But I'm not good at that. So let's swap out the hands. So both of these alternative hands go into the same hand. So he basically has 3 sets of hands for the one arm, if that makes sense. And I like this fake gun pose, brap brap. That's a UK joke. I've never said brap in my life. I don't know why I said it there, to be fair. I think that's a gun holding hand maybe. And then on this hand you can do what you want. But I quite like that gun pose. But yeah, I like the figure. Again, a little bit disappointed mine's got a blemish, but I'll zoom in and maybe I'll be able to paint that. But yeah, very nicely updated, modern Hasbro Bullseye. If you've read any of the recent comics with Bullseye in, this is exactly how he looks. So yeah, got no complaints. Very accurate. Let's have a look at the face sculpts. Pow, so here's the face that comes with the figure in the packaging. And again, you can see my little blemish on his sort of target, but other than that, I like the face sculpt. Look how clear those blue eyes are, his menacing grin, yeah, looks really good. And then the other head is just a simple swap. I'm hoping it is. Yep, it is. Pop on, pop off, and look how expressive this one is. He looks like an insane person. And again, I'm not sure if that's a brand, a tattoo, a scar. But either way, it's very accurate to him in the comics. And if you've seen that terrible Daredevil film with Ben Affleck, this is how Bullseye looks as well in that. And yeah, I like this face. How expressive is that face? Wilder and Hasbro, I like the paintwork on it. You can see all the teeth, see his tongue, again the eyes, the mouth is really expressive. So shout out whoever they have sculpting these faces. That is very impressive for a face sculpt. Crazy. And again, the rest of the figure is very simple paint job. It's just blue, like a dark navy blue and white. But that's what the character is. It's very accurate to the comics. You cannot complain. So without further ado, for anyone who doesn't know, let's ask the question. Bullseye. Who is he? This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information on the character that this figure is inspired by. So, Bullseye. Who is he? Bullseye first appeared in Daredevil 131 in March of 1976. His real name and origins are still truly unknown, but what we do know is he's a psychopathic assassin and truly is the nemesis to Daredevil. He has no superpowers, but his level of accuracy is unmatched and he can virtually turn any weapon into a lethal projectile. Bullseye's been involved in many Marvel storylines, but one to mention is when Norman Osborn was in charge of the Dark Avengers. He gave Bullseye a slot on the team, mimicking Hawkeye. Bullseye's still running around in the Marvel Universe today, and in February of 2017 he got his own miniseries too. So I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information on the characters that these figures are inspired by. Now, as I've mentioned, unfortunately I don't have the Toy Biz version of Bullseye to compare him to, and unfortunately I don't have the recent All-Father Wave Hawkeye to compare him to either, which is very frustrating. But I do have his nemesis Daredevil, so my figures are going to end up like this on the shelf. These two are probably going to be fighting each other on some sort of street diorama I have set up. But yeah, these two scale really well together, and these two are like yin and yang, perfect nemesises. Is that a word? It is now. His Bullseye compared to the other comic book figure that we got in this Marvel Knights wave, and it is Blade, of course, and these two scale great together. They look great. Happy days. And then finally, here is Bullseye compared to all of the other figures in this wave that I have reviewed so far, including Jessica Jones, Elektra, Daredevil, Punisher and Blade. Of course, these four are Netflix figures, these two are comic book figures, and a great wave. I can't wait to review the Man-Thing, which is the Builder figure next. I've done some research on this guy, so look out for the Who Is He segment. If anyone is wondering who Man-Thing is, I'll be reviewing him next. So subscribe to the channel, find the playlist, all of that good stuff. The Man-Thing review is coming. But just final thoughts on Bullseye. I'm glad they chose the updated body mold and not the old school bookie cap that they use for most common normal size figures, you know what I mean. I'm glad they used this new body mold so we could get him in those extra poses. I like the two face sculpts. I like that they've tried to do the new effect with the hand effect things, you know what I mean. And yeah, happy days. Well done Hasbro, another solid wave. So yeah, on to the next one. Let me know in the comments who's your favourite figure, and yeah, I shall see you on the next one.